Now we begin our last session. I request Dr. S.A. Sharma. I request Dr. S.A. Sharma to come forward and present his paper on editing Saiva text with special reference to Mansucripts Pondycherry.
योऽन्त प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्ताम् सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. Namaste. Good evening to all. It's a very happy moment for me, of course for all of you, but little more for me, because being grandson of Professor K.V. Sharma, it's a proud to be standing in front of you all. But sometime when I had good moments with K.V. Sharma, he used to think of such a research institute, such activities. So I was wondering, even he had asked that we should purchase 50 chairs and should be ready. We were not even 4 at that time. So I was wondering why he should think in that way. But now it is very evident. You see, knowledgeable people only can see such a future eye. I mean, not ignorance like us. So I think he had a good vision. And I am thankful to Professor Das and others who are keeping his dream as true. So let me start with that gratitude. And so Professor Das sir had asked me yesterday, most of you must have heard of Dr. Dominic Goodall talking of the Saiva manuscripts. But anyway, between us there was an arrangement. So he mentioned that he will be more focusing with the Saiva literature and how Cambodian background we have. It's a great thing. I mean, it's a very interesting things. I think he must have read some interesting verses from the Cambodian inscription where we get a lot of Saiva flavor in it. So amazing thing. So today, I will be, as suggested by Professor Das, I will be focusing on the present status of the manuscripts in Pondycherry, because that is the idea. The conference idea is to know what are all the different repositories in South India and what is its status. So as part of it, Pondycherry collection will be dealt with, but I am not simply going to say how many manuscripts we have and what we have done. Instead of that, let us open our eye and see what is there and what need to be done. You know, that way it will be interesting. Next, please. So I need to handle. So I am now Arjuna. You know, I can. So now you see, some of our colleagues must have already shown this, and amazing to see how MD sir had prepared. I mean, most of you must have seen the last part of the abstract provided to you. It was wonderful, wonderful. I mean, we should give a good hand for him. I mean, I was amazed to see he had followed K.V. Sharma's path straight forward. So there you will see how many works are to be edited, are to be studied in astronomy and mathematics. That is the only area he covered. And this is a page from K.V. Sharma's science text in Sanskrit. So I was fortunate to work with him. And you will see among the 3,473, only 229 texts could be edited so far. So you can see how much remain to be done and how much serious we should be to bring out these works. But that time when I was working on this, I thought that this is happening with the science and technology, because this is for Sanskrit, especially science and technology is a neglected area. So I thought these things happened because it is science and technology text or text related to science. That's why this unfortunate status is there. This is what I was thinking. But when I started to work now with the Saiva text, then I realized what is remaining there to be done also. So this is not only with astronomy and mathematics, but with other areas too. So just to give you a glimpse of what is there and what is not there, let us see some slides. So you know that we have text written, definitely written from 4th century. No need to say that in Kalidasa's work, we get clear evidence of Saiva echo there. Chaitanya Mugradiva Dikshitena. For example, one verse in Raghuvamsha reads, Chaitanya Mugradiva Dikshitena. This is the reading we get from the Kashmiri manuscripts, but unfortunately when the text is transmitted to other areas, if the present day text is Chaitanya Mugradiva, that reading has gone. And because of maybe ignorance of Shaivism, we don't know. So we know very clearly, and other facts also, that from Kalidasa period itself, Shaivism was very much prevalent. But unfortunately, though this is prevalent and to us well known, you see how many texts are yet to be published. Sorry, I think I made something. Can I go back, sir? So some of the important texts, the Parameshwara, the Moha Chudotra, I am not going into describe what they are. Maybe it is a rather a listing, but still I should emphasize that this is one of the early texts where you get lot of information on the architecture. So, but most of the text present day or after 12th century, we are quoting the Mayamada and not the Mayasangraha. And also we have a commentary by Vidya Kanta on this early text, and we have manuscripts available in Nepal for this text. The different texts belonging to Nishwasa Tattva Samhita. So this text, Nishwasa Tattva Samhita, seems to be one of the earliest texts in Saiva literature, but unfortunately there too these texts remains to be published. The interesting part of this is the last part. It is having 5 texts, and the Nishwasa Guhya at the end mentions that Nishwasa Guhya at its end mentions that the text or the teachings are continued in a text known as Nishwasa Kariga. And for the 5 texts, we have manuscripts not much here, but in Nepal. But unfortunately, though the Nishwasa Guhya mentions that the teachings are carried forward in Nishwasa Kariga, we don't have this Nishwasa Kariga in the north or in Nepal, but only in south and in our institute. So you see how the texts are transmitted. So the primary text, we have sources in Nepal, whereas the Nishwasa Kariga, it's available only in Pondycherry. And we may wonder, that is a different text, this is a different text. No, because these texts are transmitted long back, so they are all often corrupted. So these corruptions we were able to correct because we published the first volume. So when we published that, when we worked on that, we realized how much helpful was the Nishwasa Karika to edit that text. So they are all interlinked. Now, so you imagine that this part of, major part of this corpus is yet to be published. Then we have recensions of Kalottara. We have 50, 100, 300, 350, 700, 6,000, 7,000, Brihat Kalottara, like that. So there also, apart from the 100 Kalottara, which along with the Dominic I edited and published, all remains to be unpublished. This is the status. You imagine Tamil Nadu and as well as India was known for its Saiva schools and Saiva teachings, but this is the status when it comes to its corpus. Now, I mentioned the Kalottara 200. If you see the Saiva ritual text means nothing but the ritual formulas, how to perform the ritual system. So the first text we have is of Brahma Shambhu. We have a dated manuscript. So it is of AD 937. Dated means you see the date in the manuscript. So it is not imagination. It is dated. So we have a manuscript in 937. Then we have the Bhojadeva's Paddhati in 1018. Then of Soma Shambhu. Then Ramanatha from our own land, from Chidambaram. Then we have Valadharin, Vimalada. Most of these texts still remain unpublished. The most interesting part is, or unfortunate thing is, all these Paddhatis, the source is 200 Kalottara, for which we are having a commentary by our great Saiva composer Aghora Shivacharya. That itself still remain unpublished. They are in manuscripts. So this is the pathetic situation we know. And Ramanatha seems to be the first Saiva ritual literature author coming from our land. And we have traced that to very recently only one manuscript from Tiruvadurai Adhinam. This definitely shows, because these Ramanatha's texts have been quoted in different texts, And we know this Ramanatha Paddhati has been known to other authors, but unfortunately, because of our ignorance and negligency, we must have lost those manuscript copies. And this Ramanatha's text is being edited now. Same case with the Aghora Shivacharya, Mrigendra Paddhati. This text also is very important. This text too remains unpublished. Now, just to recap, so we have the Ramanatha's Nataraja Paddhati, or it is known as Ramanatha Paddhati, and we found one manuscript, a single manuscript of it. This is the first. So some of, I think, Acharya, Shivacharyas here, they must be knowing the Kriyakarma Dyotika, which is a famous Saiva ritual manual now being used in Tamil Nadu. And this seems to be before that. Before Kriyakarma Dyotika, we have this Ramanatha Paddhati, and we found only one manuscript of it. And same way for Aghora Shiva, we have only one manuscript of his Mrigendra Paddhati, which is available only in our text. And another interesting text to be mentioned in our collection is the Southern Brahmayamala. We have a Brahmayamala corpus coming from north. So we have a text known as Brahmayamala from 4th century AD. And the adaptation of that Brahmayamala, we have two texts in the southern version. One is available in Pondycherry, another one available in Trivandrum. And the interesting fact with this Southern Brahmayamala that is available in our institution seems to be the text mentioned in a Kolar inscription of 1028 AD. So we have in Kolarama temple, we have one inscription of 1028 AD where the ritual formulas are mentioned, and the inscription itself mentions that the rituals are performed based on the Yamala Paddhati. And it is of course evident that the Yamala Paddhati or the Yamala text mentioned in the Kolar inscription must be the manuscript that we are having in Pondycherry. So for me, as far as I am concerned, that seems to be a very interesting and rare manuscript. That also shows how texts are transmitted long way from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu. Then Trilojani Shiva's commentary on Brahmashambhu Paddhati. As I have shown you earlier, Brahmashambhu Paddhati seems to be the first and earliest Shaiva Paddhati, and Trilojani Shiva, his commentary on Somashambhu Paddhati, I am editing along with Dominic. He again and again mentions that he wrote a commentary for Brahmashambhu Paddhati. But unfortunately, till now, we have no trace of manuscript. This is very sad. I think we must be having, or some of the private collections or in some mud collections, it must be laying somewhere unidentified. I hope we will find it one day. This all shows how ignorant and how negligency we are giving to these great heritage things. Now, there is another very important corpus. This is a corpus of Shiva Dharma. Maybe Dominic might have just mentioned it, because we get indication of this Shiva Dharma in Cambodian inscriptions. So if you see the Cambodian inscriptions, we come across where we can get information of Shiva Dharma corpus. And the corpus contains of 8 texts. And the collective name Shiva Dharma refers to a corpus of Saiva texts written in Sanskrit that expound the different types of rite, temple construction, public festivals, etc. And these are all the texts. And if you see, these 2 texts are available. The first 2 texts, which seems to be the early text of this corpus, are available with us. And we have many other manuscripts also. So, you see how important is a text and how important it is in historically also. You see the inscriptional evidences of related to this Shiva Dharma you get from Southeast Asia, dated 899 AD. This suggests Shiva Dharma was known in the Chemba kingdom. And another Sanskrit inscription from Cambodia, the number is K834, datable to Suryavarman 1002 to 1050 AD, attests to the knowledge of the Shiva Dharmottara. Rajendra Chola, this is from our land, refer to public recitations of the text, Shiva Dharmam Vakkanike. So in the inscription you get. So you have to know how important is the text. Then an inscription from Karnataka dated to 1157 AD of the Parameshwara, Pranaveshwara temple also mentions this text. Now, such an important text, what is the present status of it? Unfortunately, though the importance of these texts was well brought out by R.C. Hasra in two lengthy articles in 1983 and 1985. This ancient textual resource, which had played a crucial role in the development of Saiva religion, had been neglected. We have not taken further. You see, some Hasra noticed that it is very interesting. So what he could do is to contribute to two lengthy articles, but we should have taken up it further. But we did not do it. While there are more than 80 manuscripts, so we cannot say we don't have manuscripts. We have rich manuscript collection for this text. While there are more than 80 manuscripts available in Nepal, Bengal, Kashmir and South India for the first two steps of this corpus alone, there are nearly 17 manuscripts known to exist that contain the whole corpus. A commentary written in Sanskrit for the first two texts, Shivadharma and Shivadharmottara, available in Kerala, further shows the importance of the corpus that had in South India. In 1998, these 8 texts were published as a draft from Nepal. It seems it was not taken up for its final publication. If you see that 1988 publication, you will have 2 texts printed, 1 text handwritten, another text in Kallachi or stone printing. So it was a draft thing, but it was not made it into a final publication. Now, all these texts remains unpublished. It's so unfortunate. Having so much of historical importance, having more than 80 manuscripts, we did not do much. Now what is happening? Presently editing different parts of this corpus is carried out in Netherlands. I am noting it again. Netherlands, Austria, Italy and Hungary. Maybe because of this we had a thirst. So in Pondycherry, Shiva Upanishad is taken up by myself and Ganeshan. So that is one part of the text. Myself and Dr. Ganeshan of the French Institute, we are working on Shiva Upanishad. And one chapter of Shiva Dharmottara, I am working along with Dominic. And now we have the French Institute as well as the École Française together have a project on the Shiva Dharma. And there are 2 translations of the Shiva Dharmottara in Tamil. So that also is taken up for study. So this introductory thing was to say where we are now. I mean, just having or just mentioning again and again that we have so much manuscript collection and so much heritage with us, that's not sufficiently enough. So I was just trying to give a brief introduction of the present status. Now, let me go to my duty with this introductory part. So we have 2 institutions in Pondycherry. One, sir, maybe we will discuss it. Once the presentation is over, we can discuss. When the floor is open for discussion, we can do that, sir. So we have 2 institutions. One is French Institute of Pondycherry and another one is French School of Asian Studies. So Dominic is the present head of the École Française d'Extrême-Orient, Pondycherry. And we are having my colleague Devi Prasad, who is working with the French Institute, Pondycherry. So this is just a picture of the École Française d'Extrême-Orient and its buildings. And this is the institute with its library. And maybe Dominic had shown this in 1955, Jawaharlal Nehru's visit to the institution. And this also he had shown, and he must have introduced you to NR, but I think we should be very much grateful to him, because if we have so much collection with us, he is the reason. But I think it is not official, but still I should turn behind and just show my finger to this great Mahan. It seems, I don't know officially, but it seems when the first director visited him, he is the one who guided them that the manuscript collection may be done. I think he was trying with Tirupati, since it was not working out. I think he asked these French organizers, and it seems it is his wish also that we have this collection now. 2 large collections of palm leaf and paper manuscript that transmit principally Sanskrit, Tamil and Manipravalam text are preserved in the French institutions of research in South Indian town of Pondycherry. The major collection is that of the French Institute of Pondycherry, which comprises 8,187 palm leaf bundles, 360 paper codices and 1,144 recent paper transcripts. In recognition of its importance, the collection of Saiva manuscripts in Pondycherry has in 2005 been deemed a UNESCO memory of world collection. And this is one of the manuscripts. So we have 8,187 in the IFP, that is the French Institute, and 1,662 in the EFUO. For me, the interesting thing is they managed or divided it very efficiently. Most of the Saiva material they collected that are with the French Institute, whereas most of the Vaishnava material they collected are with us in the École Française. The great point with our collection, that is the École Française collection, is from Alvar Tirunagari, that is the birthplace of Nammalvar. Whatever they could get, more than 1,000 manuscripts, it was brought and is available with us. That includes several unpublished commentaries of Divya Prabandham. We have several manuscripts of Divya Prabandham, also several commentaries, unpublished commentaries of Divya Prabandham with us. This is just a few photographs. So we have what the collection contains is 1,900 codices and among of Shaivism. Just a division of the total manuscripts. We have 1890 mantra ritual manuals, 1360 devotional hymns, and 435 astrology, and 192 the literary epic Rama, 230 the Sanskrit epics, and 198 traditional South Indian medicine. This is a very interesting part of this collection. And we have 187 manuscripts on the Vedic literature and 160 on literary works in Sanskrit, 1,350 Tamil devotional literature, which is mostly devoted to the Divya Prabandham text. Whereas the Tevaram, we will be having it in the French Institute collection. So this collection is being recognized by UNESCO, so you could see that. And this is one of the Kirana Tantra. According to Dominic, this is one of the early manuscripts, he says. I think for him it is the 9th century text, he says. Now, we have, I mentioned earlier, we have 1,116 around transcripts. So how they prepared these transcripts, because these were prepared in early days. So they used to send a mission. If there are manuscripts in a location, they used to send our Pandits there. They go, sit there and copy and bring back the transcripts. Like that, our scholars have made more than 1,160 transcripts. And for the users of all, now the whole paper collection is available online. So manuscript collection, so anyone can download. And this particular project was done by Mukta Bodha, one institution. Devi Prasad also collaborated with that project. So they helped us to scan the whole transcripts, and you can note it down. So it is available with the Muktalib.org. Mukta Bodha, if you type it in Google, you can get that. Now once you have this scanned item, we have the catalog metadata also is added. The great advantage of this provided by Mukta Bodha is you can go to any text easily, and also you can open the text here. So you can do a grep. Grep means any word if you want, you can search easily and locate that from the text. And if you know only of an author, you can search that author, and whatever text is available of that author will come to the screen. So you can easily browse through the data. And these were some of the procedures done for cataloging. So, and physical description, you know what is manuscript cataloging means. So it was going, I think Professor Das sir may be knowing some of them, because some of the team members of NCC were working sometime there. And regular cleaning also is done. I think you may be knowing him, no, sir? So, what happened was there was one Himalayan Academy of US. So, for our transcripts, this Mukta Bodha Institute sponsored a project, and through them we could get complete digitization of the paper manuscripts. Whereas for the palm leaf manuscripts, on Himalayan Academy came forward, and in 3 years' time we could digitize our entire manuscript collection. And I'm not going into the details of our publications. I think easily if you put IFP, the web page, you can. I think it's a great contribution, especially if you see, though I mentioned that Shiva Dharma text was neglected, if you see the research work being carried out, especially on the Saiva religious text for last 50 years, there is a tremendous growth. There is a tremendous growth. We have many publications and also many e-texts are available. So if somebody is really interested to work, they need not have to struggle because there are enough materials available for their research. I think I'm encouraging youngsters to take up this material for their work. Digitization of manuscripts in the IFP and EFEO. The digitization of the entire manuscript collection of the EFEO and IFP was carried out a couple of years back with the support of Himalayan Academy. A team of 7 members worked for more than 3 years on this project. Presently, efforts are taken to provide manuscript images online. So, the transcripts are already available online. I think palm leaf manuscripts are yet to be done. I think Devi Prasad is working on it. So, we are expecting to have these manuscripts online very soon. So, these are all some of the clippings of the digitization process we did. But I think it was planned well. It was done very systematically. So, we had made this as a great success. I mean, I was really happy with it because for all these things, planning and execution is very important. Otherwise, it will not end up fruitfully. But I think it was planned very well. So, these are just clippings of the digitization we carried out. You can see how happy he is. He is on Mr. Varadadeshikar, who is an expert in Vaishnava literature, who was working with us till recently. He is no more now. Now, the Himalayan Academy, what they did is, I have 5 to 10 minutes. In Himalayan Academy, what they did is, they distributed this hard disk to certain mutts and people. So, this is nothing else than when the hard disk arrived in Ceylon, in Sri Lanka, you see how they received this Shaiva Agama manuscript collection, digitized manuscript collection. So, they arranged a procession for this. And so, you may wonder what he is carrying. He is carrying nothing but a hard disk that contains the manuscript images. You see, this Shiva Dharmottara, what I mentioned earlier, in the Shiva Dharma corpus, Shiva Dharmottara, we have 2-3 chapters where it is well written how a manuscript need to be brought to a palace, how it should be copied, once it is, which day it should begin for copying, once it is copied, how it should be worshipped, after worshipping, how it should be read, then how it should be taken on a procession on the head of elephant through the streets to announce that such a text is there. I think they thought of this and they were giving great respect for this manuscript collection. Then apart from this digitization of our own manuscripts, we also have a project of going to different private libraries and then digitizing them. So one among them was most interesting was a project on Sangam literature. So where we were trying to go to different libraries and collect the manuscripts related to Sangam. So now we have a very good collection of Sangam manuscripts. So I also collaborated with it in Perur Mandi when I went there. So I was discussing with the librarian and then we went to the manuscript library. It was absolutely full of dust with more than 1 inch. I was sick after working there for 1 week. But these manuscripts are totally neglected. But we located the manuscripts that are pertaining to Sangam and we photographed. And wherever we do this work, we will give a copy for them. Hopefully they will preserve it because this is not happening. So these are, we go to different libraries, sit there and work and do a digitization. So earlier we were reading from the manuscripts before the digitization. You can see the Pandits. Now I work in this way, so I have a digitized copy. So you can see, this are, along with Dominic, I am working on this. This is a commentary on Soma Shampu Paddhati by the great composer, Saiva composer, Trilojana Shiva. We are so fortunate to have such great authors from our land, Aghor Shiva and Trilojana Shiva. So I can open the digital copy, then have my text. I can collate and write down here the variants available and bring out a critical edition easily. Thanks to all who worked for that. So doing this, I think we did justify the words of scribes like Udakanala Chorebhyo, Mushikebhyasya Rakshayet, Kashtena Ligidam Shastram, Putravat Paripalayet. So I think we did justification to these things. This verse some of you may know, but worth to read. Sambhushya Sadapatyavat Paragarat, Rikshim cha Sukshetravat, Samshodhyam Vranidangavad Pradidinam, Vikshim cha Sanmitravat, Badhyam Badhyavad Ashladam Dridagunaihi, Smaryam Harer Namavat, Naivam Sidati Pustagam Kalugata Pedat Gurunam Vachaha. Adorn it as if it were a dear child. This is towards the what respect and attachment we should have towards our manuscript. Adorn it as if it were a dear child. Protect it from the hands of the others as you would do a fertile field. Keep it clean as if it were a wounded limb. Take time to look at it every day like a good friend. Tie it up tight with firm cords as if it were a prisoner. Think of it all times as if it were the name of a god. A manuscript will clearly never perish if treated in this way, so says the wise. So we followed that and we have preserved our manuscripts. Now, after talking of and telling that we have manuscript collection, especially in Pondycherry of Saiva text, do you think we can edit a Saiva text basically using only the manuscripts available of Pondycherry? This is applicable for other things also. You may get 1 or 2 manuscripts of a work. So are you going to be happy with editing a text only using that? Or if you know that there are manuscripts available in other parts, you should take effort to get them and use them also. So this will become very clear in few minutes. I just get your attention towards this statue. This is God Shiva and he is having 10 arms, and you can see he is having a Abhaya Mudra in his hand. Now let us move. So this is a Somashambhu Paddhati published from Pondycherry. I don't have much time to go into the details. What happening here is the visualization of Sadashiva is given. So his attributes are mentioned. So the attributes, one of the attributes mentioned here is Shaktya-si Shula. So Asi is the one term which we are going to take. So you just concentrate on that. So according to this verse, Shiva is, in one of his hands, Shiva is supposed to have Asi. Asi is Gadga, sword. That is what meant. Is that correct? This is what we are going to discuss now. So what happens is this particular edition is prepared using the manuscripts only available in South. For Somashambhu Paddhati, we have, this is a text coming from North. We have manuscripts in North India, as well as in Kashmir, as well as in Nepal. So, should we be happy to edit the text with the available manuscript of South? No, that will not be enough. We are forced to check other sources also. Now you see what is happening with this Shaktya-si Shula in the northern recensions. There it is Shaktya-bhi Shula. Abhi is Abhaya Mudra. So Asi got into corruption, and Abhi became Asi during the transmission, which is wrong or which is not meaningful enough. And Shaktya-bhi Abhaya Mudra, and it becomes very clear because we get in the northern sources, Abhi is the reading we are getting. And so once you see this, it becomes very clear it is not Asi, it is Abhaya Mudra. So the above lines gives description of the attributes on the 10 names of Sadashiva, and it is description, the word Asi merits special attention. I think I explained that, so I am not going to read it. So what is happening is we should take care that having 1 or 2 manuscripts editing a text may not be a good idea. So if you have other sources, especially from some other region, we should definitely consider to look into them. I have one more small example. I'm not going into the full details. You see, this is from the Kiranagama 58th chapter. You see, this is from the Devakote edition that is prepared based on the Grantha manuscript. Here, Utpado Vividaha Proktaha. What you read here is Utpado Vividaha Proktaha. So this is what we get from the Devakota edition, through which we can't make any sense. Actually, the text is supposed to be Udghado Dividaha Proktaha. What is happening? When we edit this part with the help of Nepalese manuscript, we get this text. But when we edit the same text with the help of Nepalese manuscripts available in Kathmandu and also a Sharada manuscript, the text becomes quite understandable, giving a sense that it is about restraining one's breath, counting the time, and then experiencing Udghada and eruption of the breath as part of the Saiva Yoga. So what is happening is this text is giving a description of a Udghada process, but whereas here it is Utpado Vividaha, which is not at all making any sense. So now how we get that? With the help of some Nepalese manuscripts. What we have in Nepal, just an introduction to that collection also I need to do, because I am talking the importance of Saiva text. So this is a very important collection available in Nepal. So this Nepal collection is having more than 2 lakh manuscripts containing in 5.3 million folios, more than 115,000 Sanskrit manuscripts, 37 Tibetan block, and more than 50,000 so-called Guthi Samstha document. So this is a great collection. Anybody interested, especially, of course, it contains other text also, but related to Saiva text, I think this is a very prominent collection that we should look into. And these are all just clippings of that. And this data is available online, so anybody can go and check for the titles. And if you approach them, you can get a copy also. So with that, let me conclude, and I am thankful so much for Professor Das and Mamata Madam for giving me this opportunity to share my expressions with you. Let him put forward.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Sharma, for this useful information. We are actually running short of time. Maybe a couple of questions can be asked. 1 or 2 questions.
Chalo sir. We have only one manuscript from Kerala that have commentary of Shiva Dharma and Shiva Dharmottara written in Malayalam script. I will try to edit if time and God permits me. Definitely, sir. I already collected the manuscript.
Okay, thank you very much. The session.
Yes, please.
Because this material is collected and so on, prepared by the Ecole Française, etc.
Yes.
I want to know whether there is any royalty, or do they, or is there any transfer of intellectual property, or how do you manage this, or is there anything like that?
No, the manuscripts, if the library owns, then they will have a digital copy. If it is a agreement with the owner, then only this comes. Otherwise, the library will be having the right to give the digital copies for research purpose. Definitely, there will be a undertaking where it says that it should be used for research purposes. I think it should be made available. Otherwise, no use by having it.
Okay, thank you very much.